All right, this program is going to be the introduction to the Pharaoh's Curse. Curse of the Pharaoh. The Pharaoh Antho. That's my name, Lord Antonio Too Smooth the First. Government name was Anthony Wayne Jackson. But he had redefined himself. He was a reformed Egyptian. Nuba, a Nuwabian. A Nubian, brand Nubians. Nuba, Nubian. Got a new bar, new life force, a new character, new personification of my spiritual double. It's the Ka life force, the Egyptian soul. His life force is his spiritual double in heaven. He's the spirit. The Ka is the life force, and he is supposed to be what you are in heaven. That's what God desires you to be in the Stargate. An angelic being, the word of God, the trump of the archangels. And your bars, your life, your body, your character, your personality, who you are. That's what my name is. Your bar name, and you get a reformed Egyptian name, or it's like a nickname. I'm Almighty Antho, Vice Lord Too Smooth, okay, in the hood. Your hood name and shit, you dig what I'm saying? So, before they came and stole our name, our original names from Kemet, okay, from Africa. They changed our names, like Kuta Kinte became Toby and shit. Say your name, boy. Say your name, Toby. I'm Kuta Kinte and shit. That's his real name and shit. That's my nickname in the hood that I come from, my province and shit. So before a nigga got hoodwanked and bamboozled and shit, they changed the nigga name now. Nigga named Anthony Wayne Jackson and shit. But I'm Almighty Antho. I'm from Almighty Vice Lord Nation and shit. In the hood, I'm Almighty Antho. Vice Lord Too Smooth, you know what I'm saying? Even my Egyptian name, Vice, is Top Smooth. Top the Atlantean, from a Minty. Okay, let's talk about these things. Before we were hoodwanked and bamboozled by the European New World Order. Let's begin that. That's what the Pharaoh's Curse is about. I also was reading that book, Roar of Lions. I was talking about the Amistad and about how the people were forced into slavery after a long history of being kings and queens. And then they are enslaved on their own land where their kingdom was thrown to the ground, and the truth of their kingdom and their identity was stolen and thrown to the ground. And the fire rose over their cities. And now they build this new city that imprisons them, enslaves them, and forces them not to learn the truth about their own tradition. So that ends up in ruins, okay? That's what we are. Downtrodden people trying to restore ourselves and reform ourselves again. So I'm a reformed Nubian, a Cushite, a Israelite. Because Israel and the kingdom of Cush were intermingled at the 18th dynasty with Thutmose, who is the biblical Moses. So well, that's what we want to start this program off. I'm from the royal priesthood, high priest of Amon-Re, the Amon priesthood. We're going to focus on that. The Aminti. We say it's the formation of Teotihuacan in Mexico and the temple of Amon-Ra at Karnak and Luxor. I believe it was linked to the time of Ramesses and linked to the Olmecs, or the Olmec sinners. The 18th to the 21st dynasty in Egypt. That's what we're going to focus on, the Olmecs. And the last Egyptian empire. That's what the Pharaoh's Curse is on the European Union for. Let's talk about this. The first thing I want to read is El Dorado. Let's read El Dorado real quick. Spanish, the Gilded One, a name that first applied to a chief of an Indian town near Bogota, Colombia, who, according to legend, plastered his naked body with gold dust during annual festivals, then plunged into Lake Guatavita to wash off the dust. At the conclusion of the ceremony, his subjects cast jewels and objects of gold into the lake. The Spanish conquerors heard of this before 1530, and one of them told of being entertained by El Dorado himself at a city called Omagua. In 1538, Spaniards from Peru by the way of the Magdalena Valley and the Germans overland from Venezuela converged on the Bogota highlands in search of the gilded man who had all the gold and diamonds just bathing in the sea with him. They wanted to find him. No trace of him was found, but the Spaniards remained as conquerors of the area. They knew he just throws all of that gold and treasure in the water and bathes in it because he has so much of it. He was like King Midas or something. He had the Midas touch. Everything I touch turn to gold. That's what El Dorado is to the Greeks. He is King Midas. So all of these stories about El Dorado reached the fame in Europe. They wanted to know about because they were treasure hunters. They was people who were searching for gold. They were avaricious. They came to this new world to try to get the gold. They didn't care nothing about the people who it belonged to. They were going to rob and kill those people and take it away from them. So, that's why I'm so angry with the Spanish conquistadors in my soul. That beautiful city they were built in when they first met the pre-Columbian era of Mexico. Like Tenochtitlan. That beautiful, beautiful city that has disappeared, and now they have built Latin American Franciscan churches over Tenochtitlan. You know, those kind of places right there. You hear what happened about them. Fucking disturbs me in my heart, my soul. All right. El Dorado, it says, as the search continued into the Orinoco in Amazon country, El Dorado came to mean a whole fabulous country of gold, with legendary cities named Manoa and Amagua. In this quest, Gonzalo Pizarro crossed the Andes from Quito in 1539. Francisco Orellana sailed Dom de Napo in the Amazon in 1541 to 42, and Gonzalo Jimenez de Quesada explored eastward from Bogota in 1569 through 72. Sir Walter Raleigh tried to find Manoa in the Orinoco lowlands in 1595, while Spaniards sold Amagua nearby. In 1603, the Portuguese Paulo Coelho de Sousa explored northward from Pernambuco, and the golden city of El Dorado was shown on maps of Brazil and the Guianas for years thereafter. They found Atlantis. In the Book of Mormon, it's called the land southward, which is called Bountiful. The land Bountiful, the big Brazil, the big planet Brazil, South America, Amazon. The Greeks call them the Amazonians. The Greeks knew about the Hesperides, the land westward, the blessed islands in the west. And was said to be 10 islands, okay? That would be the Royal Caribbean area, which is Cuba and all of those little islands. That's as far as they knew about the blessed islands of the west. Going into the Florida Keys and shit, you know. Cuba. They don't know too much about it right now to this day. About the pre-Columbian era of Cuba. And finding out more and more about Mexico before the Spaniards arrived. All of that would be El Dorado. Land vast with gold. Had gold here. Gold reserves all over Mexico. And the sun-blessed splendors of Middle America was at IMG, which is called Teotihuacan. Teotihuacan, Pyramid of the Moon and the Sun. And that's the splendors of Middle America. Before any Europeans were here, this land had gold and treasures everywhere. It was a Mexican jungle with temples and sun temples and palaces here. All right, let's read the last part of El Dorado. It says, El Dorado was only one of many mythical regions of great wealth. Cibola, Quivira, the city of the Cesars, Otro, Mexico, being among the more famous. The search for which contributed to the rapid overrunning of the hemisphere by the Spaniards and other Europeans. They were just coming here for the treasures, for the wealth of the country. They didn't come here to care about the people or nothing. Since the El Dorado has come to be used for any place where riches could be had easily and quickly. The story is often mentioned in literature as in Milton's Paradise Lost and Voltaire's Candide. So they came here for gold. They were treasure hunters, avaricious people. Avarice is one of the evil intentions of man's heart that defiles him. That's what Christ told us, okay? Avarice, an extreme desire to be wealthy. You lie, cheat, and steal from us, okay? In the early days in the history of Mexico, at the IMG, which is Teotihuacan complex, Chichen Itza, before the Spaniards came over here, Cholula. Let's look up Cholula. I want to look up Cholula, one of the largest pyramids in the world, even larger than the Great Pyramid at Giza, but it was not completed. So Cholula, it says, is an ancient town of Mexico in the state of Puebla, 8 miles west by north of Puebla, the state capital. The altitude is 6,912 feet. The population in 1960 was 12,833 people. Famed for its many domed churches, Cholula by legend has a church for each day of the year. The Royal Chapel in the plaza has 48 domes. True to custom, the Spaniards built a church on top of each native temple in this important pre-conquest town dedicated to the god Quetzalcoatl. So who is Quetzalcoatl? If there's a pyramid there, they built their church on top of it. That's Quetzalcoatl at the IMG on Amduat. Like Amon-Ra or Ray Harakati on the feathered serpent, okay? It's a man's head, the serpent at the head of a man, and 3 cords of a serpent on him, and then it had wings. And he was a hawk-headed deity that could fly. So the IMG and Teotihuacan, it seems to be like some type of causeway for some type of flying device for an airplane. It looked like an airplane runway or something. You can land an airplane right over there. Or a helicopter. And come down the causeway and get off of it and walk right into the temple. It looked like a runway for an airport or something. For some type of flying device. So we're going to talk about that, the mythical places they ruled 1,000 years with Christ. for 1,000 years before Gog and Magog process came over here. We're going to talk about that on the next program. Stay tuned.